In this video, we'll discuss the recent trade dispute between the United States and China over steel imports. On June 4, 2025, the United States increased tariffs on a range of Chinese steel products to 50%, doubling previous rates. This move brought the dispute back into the headlines because both materials are essential for inputs for construction, automobiles, and energy systems. This dispute is primarily between China, which is the world's largest steel producer, and the United States, which depends on imports for about one-third of its steel. This is important because China is set to sell steel at very low prices globally, raising concerns in the U.S. about unfair competition and the dependence on foreign supply. This makes the industry a significant source of global tension, as cheap imports can undercut domestic producers and reshape entire supply chains.
You ready? The countries involved in this situation is the United States and China. The United States has been importing steel from China, and this trade situation is heavily influenced by political tensions today. China has continued to encroach on disputed sovereignty of Taiwan, a major political and trade partner of the United States. This has continued to affect decision-making by President Donald Trump and Xi Jinping of China.
Okay.
The U.S. has used a tariff, a type of trade barrier, to raise the price of Chinese steel. The goal is to protect domestic producers, increase U.S. manufacturing competitiveness, and reduce reliance on foreign metals. As you can see here, the tariff has increased the price per ton of steel from $500 to $750. This tariff has also affected the quantity imported, as Chinese exporters of steel take a larger hit financially from the tariffs. As shown above, consumer surplus is decreased and producer surplus is increased. It also increases deadweight loss as a result of increased price for domestic production and consumption.
The largest producer is Baowu Steel Group Company, headquartered in the Bao Steel Tower in Pudong, Shanghai, China. This company is just one of many. These massive steel companies are state-connected and benefit from Chinese government by receiving support in the form of subsidies, cheap loans, and controlled energy prices. Many of these companies are located in huge industrial regions. These areas have massive blast furnaces and large-scale steel mills that produce iron ore, melt it, and roll it into finished steel products like sheets, beams, and tubes. Once imported into the United States, the steel is consumed by a wide range of industries: automotive, construction, energy sector, manufacturers of appliance machinery and tools, and defense contractors. Steel production relies on global inputs such as iron, ore, and coal from countries like Australia, Brazil, and Mongolia, combined with China's low-cost labor, coal-powered energy, and heavy industrial equipment. These materials are moved through extensive rail, trucking, and port systems that transport the finished steel to international markets like the United States.
Relevant factors of production that is most relevant are the labor, capital, energy, natural resources, and technology. These factors can determine which country has a lower opportunity cost, which can highlight the country's comparative advantage when it comes to producing steel. Using the Heckscher-Ohlin model, China should export steel and U.S. should import steel. This is because China has a labor-abundant economy and has cheap energy and massive capital investment, which gives it a lower opportunity cost of production. The United States, however, would import steel because of stricter regulations and labor scale in the steel industry. To conclude, China would have a comparative advantage because of its cost of producing steel is lower compared to the United States. China also holds an absolute advantage in the amount of steel produced, as the steel industry is not held to the same standards and regulations as the United States industry.